Hey, Facebook, I'm back again. It might be 3 days in a row. It's crazy. Crazy. So I'm Matthew 18, eating a sandwich here. There's my sandwich. Took a couple bites. Oh, don't rotate your phone. It says, do not do that again, mister. You'll be in Facebook jail for rotating your phone. At that time, Matthew 18, the disciples came to Jesus and asked, who then is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? I want to go look back at Matthew 17 and see where we ended, because the temple tax. So they just finished talking about the temple tax, and Jesus pulled coins out of a fish. Then the disciples, and it's not clear how much time passes in between some of these passages. Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Jesus called a little child to him and placed the child among them. Children, a child, and a bunch of men. And he said, truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children. Now they had changed and became like men. They grow that way. They don't grow the other way. And we always tell children, grow up. So what is this telling you? I don't know. Let's think about it. Unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. That's not good. So we have to, instead of growing up, we have to grow down. Is that right? Does that make sense? I don't know. You read it and you think about it. Is this wisdom? Is this the greatest story ever told? Some people think so. Therefore, whoever takes the lowly position of this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me. Boy, way to go, youth leaders. If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. Pretty strong words there, Jesus. Are you sure? Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter life maimed or crippled than have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. And if your eyes cause you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. Man, that is pretty horrifying to think about. It is better for you to enter life with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of hell. So I'm reading this and I'm thinking, you're walking around in the kingdom, in the heavenly realm. You see all these people and you're like, hey, 1 eye, how's it going? All these one-eyed people up there. And I believe heaven is a restored earth. We talk about heaven as if it's some cloud floaty place. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that their angels in heaven. Okay, and then, this idea that we have an angel watching over us, a guardian angel. Their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven. What do you think? If a man owns 100 sheep and one of them wanders away, will he not leave the 99 on the hills and go to look for the one that wandered off? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he is happier about that one sheep than about the 99 that did not wander off, which is strange and perplexing. We always get annoyed at the one who's causing problems. And God says that one's especially dear to him. It's something to just treasure and think about. What does it mean? In the same way, your Father in heaven is not willing that any of these little ones should perish. And it also comes with the idea, this verse brings the idea that children are automatically heaven-bound. And youth leaders, we have this space where children are transitioning into adults and they're losing something. And it's a very important time because adults, we start not understanding. Children understand and we grow out of it. If your brother or sister sins, how much? Okay, we're doing okay. If your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won them over. But if they will not listen, take one or two others along, so that every matter may be established by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Hello, Pastor Susan. Good to see you. If they refuse to listen, tell it to the church. And if they refuse to listen even to the church, treat them as you would a pagan or tax collector. Okay. Truly I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. And that's just a huge thing. I want to do a lot more loosing than binding. Binding on earth, it's like handcuffing someone and throw them in a dungeon. I don't want to do a lot of that. I want to do a lot more loosing. So there's loose. You know, you imagine in heaven, you're just running around in this joyous place. Let's loose people in heaven. Again, truly I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree about anything they ask for, it will be done for them by my Father in heaven. So let's ask for some good loosing. Ask for good things. For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? And that's a lot. You know, my brother or sister, they need a good punch, not forgiveness. Maybe 7 punches. Jesus answered them, I tell you, not 7 times. Sorry, brother and sister, I was not talking about you directly. I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. Are you sure I don't owe them 77 punches? No. 77 forgivenesses. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 10,000 bags of gold was brought to him. That's a lot. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that he and his wife and his children and all that he had be sold to repay the debt. At this, the servant fell on his knees before him. Be patient with me, he begged, and I will pay back everything. The servant's master took pity on him, canceled the debt, and let him go. The debt was huge. He begged, please. He was going to lose everything. When the servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 silver coins. Comparatively tiny, just tiny. He grabbed him and began to choke him. Pay back what you owe me, he demanded. His fellow servant fell to his knees and begged him, be patient with me, and I will pay it back, please. But he refused and said he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. So now this man had lost everything. The debt was canceled. Thousands of dollars of debt. Well, he didn't lose everything. His debt, he was holding debt, it was canceled. Okay. The other servants saw what had happened, and they were outraged and went and told the master everything that had happened. Then the master called the servant in. You wicked servant, he said. I canceled all that debt of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you? In anger, his master handed him over to the jailers to be tortured until he should pay all back all he owed. This is how your heavenly Father will treat each of you unless you forgive your brother or sister from your heart. So it ends with the parable of the unmerciful servant. Boy, tough story. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. We'll get through this. Matthew all the way to the end. Bye.